everyone. No, you can hear me possibly, but not see me. Why? Garbage bloody thing. Why isn't it working? Sorry. Why? Ah! Looking for shoe. Okay. This is so depressing. Why? You can hear and see me lose my mind. I don't know why this stupid new camera is causing me so many issues. Well, at least it's proper frame rate now. Sorry guys, I tried to set this up before the stream, but it's really hard to adjust when you're not streaming the footage. Like what this should be the resolution I'm able to use well, this one here, the camera over here should be the one I'm able to use at this resolution, but it does this flickering thing like this occasionally, and I'm like, why? And it might be an OBS thing, and I don't really know how to fix it because technology is poop. So I tried a bunch of things, and the one that does not flicker has the dreadful frame rate. I don't know why. So, and when I put the default camera settings, they work, but the resolution is really like blurry. And I'm like, what? How is this the default thing? Perhaps I need to update OBS. Maybe that's the thing I should look into for next time. But I think that for today, we're gonna have to make do with this, unless you guys think it's really unbearable. Sorry, I got a new mouse and it has a trackball and I'm still getting used to it. Okay, so let's lock everything in place and call it a day. I tried. I tried. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay. All right. This should be, at least they should provide some sort of a... How was everyone's Christmas or holiday celebration? Because I know that not everyone celebrates Christmas. Okay. Let me try it. Hey. Such a flattering angle, right? This is so flattering. And I think, yeah, I think at least the movement is not like skipping. Okay. Oh, it's actually not kitties, it's mooses. Can you see? You can't see my butt anymore. But it's very Canadian, it's mooses. Oh, this is such a flattering angle. I love this. But I can show you my butt again. Whoop. So yeah, it's like Canadian mooses. It's the most Canadian thing ever, except that it's not red. Well, I'm trying. It's hard to. Is this better? Big face. What about this? Anyway. Bam. Yeah, I've been noodling with my dip pens and this ink, and I did a swatch sheet that obviously I put somewhere and forgot, and then I can find it. Oh, I know where it is, sorry. The thing with those pajama pens is that they were on sale. And like regular price was kind of pricey for considering it's pajama pants, you know. And I was like, so I got one pair that's buffalo plaid, very Canadian too, and these moose ones because they were on sale, and I was like, that's fine. So yeah, that's what I've been like testing out these dip pens. I don't know if one is supposed to leave the nib in the pen, but it's I don't like the, you know, pulling them out and putting them back in. You always risk like twisting the nib, and all of these have like plastic, except the Maru pens, except, well, this one has a metal thingy that you insert the nib on, but all the other ones are plastic, so plastic doesn't rust really. And I've been wanting to use these more, so I swatched them out to see what kind of line they do, and just this ink to make sure it's completely waterproof, even if it says so on the bottle. Oh, sorry. Hola, hey everyone. Sorry, I forgot to say hi everyone. Okay, this is the chat here, and this is here, and if I look over there, that's the camera, that's the computer. I'm not used to having a face cam, and I can't see it because I have a big roll of paper towels hiding my screen. So oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Paula. It gets really difficult with older pets because you see them, well, it's same with humans, truly, but the lifespan of a pet is not the same as a human. So it's really hard to see a pet you've known for like 15, 20 years. And when their health declines, it's just so hard. Yeah, so I was feeling like using these things to ink a drawing today. I'm not sure what I'm gonna what I'm gonna draw and then ink, so drink. Yeah. I'm looking for supplies. Hold on. So hey everyone, hi Otto and Lee and Amisha is here and Paula and Lee. We have two Lee, we have Lee and Gold and Lee Art. So yeah, I was thinking I would sketch on these. They're quite good actually. You know, they're cotton paper and pre-cut. I've been enjoying those. Got a few sheets. I just don't know what I'm gonna draw. Can't really have any snowman action going on here because the snow is rather sad. It's mostly like grass. Hey Heather! Hi! Heather says, I have read that leaving the nibs in the holder allows moisture to stay in contact with the nibs longer and can cause rust. Something to be aware of at least. Very true. I wonder if there's a way to, I don't know, get these out. This one was fairly easy to remove. Like I have other holders that it's either super difficult to get the nib in or out. Like this one, it's kind of a, oh see, there's already some rust happening on this one. Wow. With one use, there is rust on this one. Great. It's not the tip, so it doesn't really. What about this one? Yeah, there is some kind of a. Sometimes you can smell rust instead of see it. So I guess I will have to keep these out of the pen. But like the big ones, like this one, they're the one I kind of have a harder time removing. Okay. Of course, it's gonna be cats. I think I thought this little card is just gonna be cats doing a snowman or snow cat. Hey, kitty. Hey, Temple. Hi, guys. Did you guys get any art supplies as a gift during your holiday break? Oh no, someone clicked the thumbs down. If only they would like say why. This is just the weirdest thing. It still helps the channel in a weird way, or just to show how broken YouTube can be. That negative interaction helps the channel anyway. Oh, okay, hold on. Someone wants to be on stream. Comment? Elle fuit. Hold on. Viens, toi. spotlight, it's called out. Wait! Wait, boo boo! No, no. Wait, boo! Il m'a gratté, man. Oh, gros câlin! The face cam is pretty awesome for Peko. This is so funny. Baby. Are you done? Are you done? But who loves you? I love how neither camera has a good color setting. Oh, you? Mike? Alright. I'll go get some water. I'll be right back. Ah oui, j'adore ça. No, you're supposed to clip on. Silly Mick. Alright. Lee says, I got some very random art supplies, a bunch of specialty brushes, tiny ivory sketchbook, a set of watercolor pencils. It sounds awesome. Misha says, 2 9x12 pad of arches. Hey, awesome. Fellow green, yellow shade, diaxis in purple. Awesome. A number 2 round brush and the number 1 script liner and the Daniel Smith watercolor essential set. Wow. Those are great gifts. Oh, I want to see that, Heather. I feel 8 instead of 15. Oh. Okay, so Doodles is here. I got some water, the ink. I'm really like new to this, so like this is more about a learning with me than a demonstrating anything. and I'm gonna refer. Anyway, I'm gonna look at this to decide which nib I want to use. I'm thinking I want to use one that has a kind of a greater variation, so perhaps this one, this 56 one. Just gotta find it in here. I've noticed that the pen nibs, okay, the pen nibs that are sort of darker, like bronzy looking, they're the softer ones, and the silver ones are much harder. Let's go with this super affordable, easy to use. Ouch. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up with my fingers covered in ink. It's a great start when the first line doesn't even go where I want it to go. Yay! Kind of love this screechy sound of the nibs. Yeah, I don't know if this is perhaps kind of too blurry to see. Ugh, I swear. The thing I found with nibs is that I feel like they're really meant to be used in certain directions. So if you want a line that is another kind of direction, you have to move your paper and not try to make it happen with the nib. Like you can't really go backwards with nib. You mostly have to go like if you're right-handed like me, from left to right, because that's the way it will bend better. Or like top to bottom, or well, you can probably tell from what I'm doing right now, maybe. It allows for really fine lines and like broader lines when you really press on it, which is great. But there's also a super heavy risk of smudging because none of this is dry. It's a weird thing that there's a face cam now. Like, am I making faces as I draw this? Like, oh, I can't pick my nose anymore. What a bummer. That's interesting. Thanks, Heather. I didn't know you tried these nibs too. But Heather says, I was also worried about pressing too hard and damaging the nibs, so I don't press them all the way in, just far enough to be secure and stable yet easily removed. That's really what I need to remember to do. I struggle with being light-handed in certain ways. Like with something like crochet and needle felting, I'm really, really tight. And I gotta, it's bad for the hands because it cramps up, but yeah. Yeah, I picked my nose on stream, of course. Those proteins, the ink bottle, that is Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star Waterproof India Ink Matte. I can't really show the bottle because it's gonna spill. But yeah, I love that it's matte. And it dried on the nib. Which is why I got this. I tried to wash off the extra dry ink before it's too dry and the nib just pulled out. So I guess it's not super tightly set in, really. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Hey, Denise is here. Hi, Denise. Hey, Cyan is here. Hey, hey guys. Dan is here. Oh my gosh, everyone came on while I was busy noodling around on a piece of paper. No, it's not carbon ink. It's okay. It's this one. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, I think you can see. It's Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star Waterproof India Ink in matte. It says it's good for technical pen, brush, and airbrush. Oh well. I mean, I think everything can be used with nibs because nibs don't tend to be super expensive. They're like at worst a couple of dollars per nib, which might sound like a lot, but I think most of the nibs I have here were about like between 50 cents and $1 per nib, so it's really not that big a deal if it gets ruined. Also, like, I'm learning. I don't expect to be able to make perfect use of these as I'm learning. I'll probably miss a couple of these, and yeah. I just love how they, like, if you do line and wash, these make for a really interesting lively line work instead of like micron pens that can be a bit more stiff and lifeless. Like, basically life in a line is making mistakes, and a nib like this will of course result in a bunch of mistakes or things you didn't think you wanted but are there anyway. Hey, are you all professional artists? Well, I don't know what how you define professional artists, but yeah, I guess we all are in a way. Oh, I need to use the ink on my brush before it dries out, but I'm betting that. Oh, sorry about the sound of the mic falling down. Maybe it will be better on this one. So yeah, I'm guessing it was Havoc, right? Yes, it was Havoc. What a surprise! Oh, though Peko does that too. She has many boxes around, and some of them are in really like precarious places, and sometimes she will jump in them and they will slide. And sort of have to catch the box, or help her before the box falls down. I hope the screeching sound doesn't bother you guys. I'm fine with it, but I don't know how it comes out. It's a Japanese tradition to clean your house top to bottom before the new year. Oh, it's really something I think that everyone could benefit from, but I find it difficult to clean the house when it's super cold outside. There's a bit of a dry ink that instead of removing, I'm just sticking in there more. Yay. Plein de poils de chat des couleurs comme chez moi. Oh, always full of cat hairs in everything. Food, paint. Oh, I love Havoc so much. She's so funny. Oh no, that's okay, Denise. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. It's not like it's a mandatory thing or whatnot. How is Cricket? I saw that you have sort of problems with your back, so I hope that gets better soon. But you know me, how's the cat? Oh no, Otto, what is it? Otto says, I finally found a chocolate chip cookie that I can safely eat. It's awesome. But now I can't stop eating them. Please help. Well, if you send me some, I will help eating them. It's like a year and a half of not being able to eat cookies just exploded. Yeah. Absolutely, exactly. So relatable. Ah, thank you, Paula. It's really my first time, I think, that I successfully can have a traditional art camera and a face cam, and it's mostly because I keep taking breaks and this thing dries up. That's that's an issue. But yeah, I bought the new I bought a new webcam because this one, the face cam, was kind of not ideal for many art related aspect of filming, like colors and resolution wasn't that great. But yeah, so I bought this one, but this one is giving me trouble. But now that I have two cameras anyway, I can use one to show my face. Okay, I need to use up this ink before it dries again. Hey Lena! Hi! Cricket is good! Sleeping! Yay! I don't know, Pico just went to the litter box, I can hear her. She's so stinky. Stinky Pico. I am so behind on all my art video watching. It's really difficult to keep up with it during the holiday seasons, I find. Oh, thank you, Lena. I'm in my pajamas, so hey. Isn't that what friends are for? Eat cookies? I hope so. If you can hear the clunk weird noises on the background, that's Pico. Well, I think it's Pico. It's either Pico or Mr. E. Of course. Oh, well, Dawn, I don't think showing your face is about being pretty or not. I don't think I'm pretty either, but it's definitely a different experience and it's more relatable for the people watching you. But if you don't want to show your face, you just don't. That's fine too. It took me a long time before I went like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. Actually, it took the interview with Steve and Marty was like, well, the face is out of the bag, so no point in hiding my mug now. It is what it is. And like, people on the subway see my face, people at the grocery store see my face. But that's just my 2 cents. If you really don't want to show your face, that's perfectly fine. Oh, I agree, right, Denise? You went through it. Did you? Yeah, you did. Yeah. I get confused about it because when I did mine with Marty and Steve, they mentioned to me that they wanted to make one with you too. So it's been in the back of my mind that like there would be a video with you and them. And it took some time before it happened, so I got sort of all confused about knowing from what they told me or knowing that it happened. But yeah, now I remember the thing. Okay, so I really gotta let this dry. It's definitely not dry right now. So just stay there. Just rinse this off. Well, thank you, Lana and Dan. You guys are way too nice with me. Okay. Oh, that's awesome, Lee. Wow. Did you get a real camera, like a DSL, or more like the smaller ones now, the point and shoot, or a webcam? Whoa. Did you, Paula? Paula says, I imagined you had straight, blunt cut, shoulder length, dark brown hair. Not quite. This is very ginger and very curly. The cut is whatever, because the thing is with curly hair you can sort of cut your own hair and it doesn't really show. And this is what I've been doing for a couple of years now. I don't go to the hairstylist anymore because I don't really enjoy it. So that's that. Okay, what else? Oh wow. Mirrorless DSLR. Panasonic Lumix G7. Whoa, that's pretty. Well, Dan, everyone seems to think you're already ginger, right? Aren't you? It's hard to tell from camera, I think. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that I am definitely a ginger, especially with this camera, but yeah, that's what me and Peko have in common. Yeah. Yeah, hairdressers, I mean, every time I go, they do a fine job, but they always seem to think that I'm a much fancier person than what I really am. So there's always like these cuts and like, oh, you have to use this mousse and this stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Try to make it like certain length and all of that, and have a, you know, this thing when you have curly hair where they cut the top one shorter so it curls up, and then but you end up just looking like a dandelion, which is not great. So I mostly just tie it back and cut it myself when I get bored. Thank you, Malvina. Honorary ginger. Yeah, a lot of guys have ginger in their beard. Like even Mr. E, he has brown hair, but you can definitely see some of the ginger in the beard. And I know a lot of guys like that. Like all my family except my brother have brown hair. No one really is a ginger. So I think it's this recessive gene thing that it's perhaps present for a lot of people, but it's not the one that takes over. So you see it pop up in weird places like beard or children. I had super short hair at some point, like really short, like this long, but um, it's not super ideal when you gain weight to have super short hair. So I will probably not attempt it until I can lighten up. I think Dan, you probably have a similar hair color to my brother. My brother was platinum blonde when he was a kid, and he was blonde for a really long time, and now it's kind of like a reddish light brown kind of a color. Oh no, Lee. Someone's adopted. Yeah, Cyan, you are legit, like, yeah, really light blonde. Is it even blonde when it's that light? It's like super platinum. Really pretty color as well. Oh, I can show you guys something really silly. I spoke to my dad, and I spoke to my dad about a bunch of things, but one of them was that I have my grandma's recipe book. My grandma, who is no longer with us, and I figured that since I don't really plan on having kids, these recipes are probably gonna be lost after me, because I don't really see who will get them, you know. So I'm thinking I might scan them and sort of put them online just to make them available to more people. And I asked my dad to look through his photos of me as a kid and see if there were any of me and my grandma, so that I could like have a bit of a setting to this thing. And he sent me a bunch of pictures of me and family and stuff. So I think it's kind of funny because we're speaking about hair and hair color changing, and I've always been a redhead, like forever. So I thought it was kind of fun. I'm trying to find one that's proper, because you know, baby pictures are not always proper. But yeah, I basically didn't change hair color at all. Some are hilarious. Some are like my dad, like 40 years ago. It's really funny to see. Like people, they're all like, they wrote the names on the back of the photos. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's this person. I don't think I would have recognized them. Like this aunt or whatever. I'm trying to find ones that are going to show relatively well on camera. Okay. And I also find out that my grandma, she really loved cats as well. So I think that's why my dad included pictures of cats. Can you see the cat? Yeah, I think you can see the cat. Kitty! Like, I don't think she had any house cats. This one is with a good old bottle of beer. But she would like feed the stray cats around and take care of cats. So that didn't fall really hard. The apple didn't fall really far away from the tree. But see, on this one is a I was 4 and pretty much looked like similar. Oh yeah, bright. Well, it looks super bright on this camera, but it's you know, it's regular orange hair. So yeah, I got this is like a long-term project that I want to do, because my grandma's recipe, they're all like traditional French Canadian things too, so that would be cool. Do ginger people get sunburnt easy? Yep, very easily. Like, I don't go out in the sun. It's just not good. Yeah, Denise, kind of a weird stage to get to, like whenever I want to say I find a necklace that I think is pretty, and I'm like, well, is it pretty enough, and am I gonna wear it enough that I'm gonna happy with the fact that I got no one to pass it down to. I don't mean this to be like a gloomy thing or whatnot. It's just a question that's been popping in my mind a bit, because a lot of relatives have kids, and it's still something that does not appeal to me at all. And I'm like, I'm not close to any of these kids enough that I can say, oh, I'm gonna just give them the things, you know. And I just find it weird, because like for me, all these things, they mean a lot, but say I'm an old lady eventually, and all these things I don't have any relative to pass them on to, they're just gonna end up where? And that's really weird. Yeah, exactly. Denise, I'm glad you see it too. Like, it's just such a weird feeling. Oh well, henna on gray hair comes out bright orange. Oh, thanks. Oh, Heather. Well, I agree, but I mean, come on. Heather says, kids, blech. Temple says, nah, not gloomy. I'm in the same boat, just practical consideration. Yeah, I've seen there's a blog that I sometimes check the posts, and I don't remember the title of it, but basically this guy is a what's the word? Is someone who salvages stuff from the garbage. Like he has his roots, and he stops at some neighborhoods where people leave, well, throw away stuff that is actually still really good. And it's always weird things, like people throw away money, they throw away jewelry, and sometimes it's really sad because you realize that all this stuff is being thrown away because it was a single it was an old person living there, and they lived alone and they don't really have any relatives. So like the cleaners, they just come over and they just toss away everything. And it's a bit heart-wrenching at times. I remember this one guy, I assume it was a guy because he had the blogger found in the garbage of a man a box, opened it, and there was some kind of a gold, like actual gold military decoration in there. And there was a note in the box that said, please pass this on to my niece, something or some, you know, something like that. And I just thought it was so sad because, I mean, the person is dead, the old man is dead, he doesn't know, but for me to see the whole narrative of like what it meant to the man and what he wished could happen to the thing, and see it end up in the garbage. And I mean, at least the blogger saved it up, but it didn't, like, he needs to make a living, so he resells this stuff, and especially something in gold. I mean, come on. So it's just weird, you know. It's kind of I don't know. Heather, how did you manage? Heather says, and I used to be a pediatric nurse. That says my research used to be in how children use computers. I have no idea how I ended up doing that. Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, I'm so sad about that, Denise. It's really difficult. Like, there's a real concern, not just raising the kid, but having the kid. I mean, probably you consider something like perhaps options like adopting instead of actual pregnancy, because I mean, if your body has already like bad days and good days, but bad days, I mean, pregnancy cannot help. Like, it won't make you feel better on the bad days, it's just going to make you feel worse on the bad days. And it's a difficult thing to go through for 9 months. I'll pass the few things I have to my sister's children and hubby's daughter. I couldn't have children. Oh, well, that's a bummer still. But like, I don't. My brother has cats, not children. My friends don't have children. I'm trying to think. I'm not really close to anyone else. Like Mr. E's sisters have children now, but I don't really know them. Like I am not super good with kids, and I'm not comfortable around kids, so it just doesn't help. Perhaps when they will be a bit older, it's gonna click more, and maybe then I will be close enough to them that I can sort of pass them on my stuff. But it's just weird, you know, this notion that not only space is limited, but also I gotta think beyond just me. So that's just odd. What pencil is this? It's a Kiki's delivery service, Kuritoga. You know, the Kuritoga are the pencils that automatically rotate the lead. Like if you're like me and you usually rotate your pencil to get always the sharp angle of the lead. Well, this pencil does it by itself, but I mostly bought it because it has Gigi and the white cat on it. Lee says, I love kids, but like part-time. Playing favorite auntie to my friends and sibling kids is perfect. Yeah, that sounds like the proper balance. Oh, well, that's great, Dawn. Like, I'm not, I don't know. My kids have fur for now, so. Do you use the Kuritoga auto? What? Whoa. Whoa, Misha, that sounds like a pretty intense story. Okay, I haven't drawn in like 20 minutes. Guys, what do I draw on this one? It's gonna have cats? Hey, thanks, Paulo. Hi, by the way. That's a weird, that's a really weird thing to do. I think we've discussed this already, but every time Otto tells me, I'm still like, what? But like the people are like if you tell them that you are unsure or not interested in having kids, their response is like, but wait until you have one. And I'm like, hold on a second. That's such a weird way to go about this. You know? It's like, yeah, but let's just consider the scenario that I do what you say. Hey, I'm gonna have one, see if I like it. And I realize I don't. What am I supposed to do now? You know? If you guys like kind of a roulette pencil, you can also check these guys. They're Kuru. Well, Otto wrote it in the chat, but Kuru Toga. Yeah, there is no return policy with kids. You have them, you gotta deal with them, you know? So it's just a really weird thing to just say to someone, I find. I feel like maybe what they mean could be expressed better if they said it in a different way. Like, if they said, like, oh, I was really unsure, but like when I had mine, I realized that I really like it. You know, I feel that that would perhaps be a bit more constructive in terms of their experience, because it's just so weird to go like, well, try it, you might like it. It's like, yeah, but what if I don't? Wow, that's such a weird story. So she just like suddenly boop, there was a baby. And Misha, that's so strange. Was it premature? Because I mean, well, I like Kuritoga as well. They're great pencils. I have a couple. no, Lee, no. Lee and Gold says, I've had a few people suggest, well, what if you have an unplanned pregnancy? And I'm always like, why the hell would you wish that on someone? What is wrong? I mean, what? Here, let's have something inspired by this convo. Let's have a bunch of kitten beans over here. Oh, speaking of kitten beans, I mean, I watched the kittens from Kitten Academy, and I sort of stopped for a bit, and then I came back to it, and they're so big now. They're all such big kitties, and most of them have been adopted, and I'm like, oh, I miss the tiny beans. More or less, yes. No idea she was pregnant. Whoa. There's the flip side too that carries a lot of shame and no one really talks about. I know several people who thought they wanted kids and now feel guilty for regretting it. You mean they thought they want them, had them, and then feel bad because they, they realized they might not have really wanted them? Yeah, there's that too. I agree. Alexandra says having a kid, especially if you and your family have a history of mental illness, is unfair to the potential child. It's issues, and there is no easier right answer. Yeah, like their lives weren't what they thought they would be. Yeah, that's always the thing. I mean, the decision to have a kid, you cannot decide the parameters. Like just say you have a kid and your kid has Down syndrome or has autism or is perhaps a bit more hands-on than you would have thought. It's it's not easy. Not that they'd ever want to give up their families, but that's still that guilt of not loving it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like uh, if there are days that you don't absolutely love your kids head over heel, the problem is with you, not with the fact that it's actually quite difficult to have kids and not all days will be good. Like I don't get that. That's really unfair to the parents to expect them to be like every day is peachy and my kid is the best. Like it's not true. Yeah. Yep. 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 Chat is making a lot of sense. Yeah, there's a difference between unplanned kids and unwanted kids. This is kind of dark. But yeah, I mean, or you know, sometimes people, like a couple is like, okay, we feel ready, we want to have kids, let's just stop taking contraception or using it, and kids are gonna happen when they happen. And sometimes it happens like right away. You're like, oh well, okay, I guess that's that. Let's try a different nib for this one. Bonus, no period. Blah. Periods. Yikes. Sorry, I just made myself laugh by figuring, like, imagining the scene where you go to the doctors and like, hey doc, can I get spayed, please? Oh, this one is weird. This one is super long. Hey Nancy, hi. So I am using the 513 nib, which is a lot harder. Like it's a stiffer metal, and it doesn't like vary the line weight as much. It's a bit difficult to control though because I'm sort of used to being closer to the tip. This one is really long, so I feel like when I put pressure on it, it's gonna bend the whole thing, which is really weird. Yeah, I agree, Temple. I think society needs to be a bit more accepting of a bunch of things, including like the fact that perhaps the current generations have a different life setting than our parents. It seems to be a recurring thing that a lot of parents don't get it, that like things are not exactly as they were. Oh, I'm coming up on 10K soon. Yeah, I am. I was really like, it was a real a soft goal of mine, perhaps, to possibly reach 10K before the end of the year, but I will definitely not make it there. Though I'm close, so still good. Really good. It's been a bit difficult lately to do videos. I'm a bit like a cat in the sense that when my routine is off, I get really flustered. The holidays are always a mess, but yeah. What is this? This kid is super deformed. Oh no. Okay. Still good. Sorry. Christian, Ev, I'm moving back to Canada in less than a month. Anything you want from USA? Aww. Aww, that's so kind. Oh my gosh. This kitten is like Potato the cat. It was not intentional, mind you, but yep. I need to think about it, Nancy. Just off the top of my head, there's like, it's weird because of course there's a bunch of things available in the US that seemed pretty fun to try out, but in terms of needing anything, I really don't need anything. I have, if anything, I have stuff like for a couple of persons worth here. I could probably open a school and not have to buy anything, but yeah. Apologize if you hear my stomach grumbling. Yeah, that counts. I agree. Please. It's a bit difficult because it's really hard to be super consistent in making video when you're not a robot. Because you know there are times where we don't really feel like doing anything, or in your case you have like issues with your body deciding to not collaborate with you on certain days. So I mean, it's better than many things because at least you still choose your schedule. But considering that YouTube wants you to be super regular about it, it's difficult to make the best of the way it works. And sometimes I get just really bummed out about what I had planned, or like on the good days it's really awesome, but on the bad days it's just weird. There is no snow outside. Why are the snow trucks doing their thing? Yeah, I saw your big mustache, Denise. It's pretty awesome that you have this platform where you can get rid of stuff. And you know it goes to someone who wants it and will use it. That's something that bothers me. Like, sometimes I try sets and after that I'm like, well, I don't really have a need to keep this set, you know, but I'm like, I don't have nobody to give it to anyway. Might make giveaways, might try to have a couple of giveaways, but that's kind of like, it would be more fun to consider and do if the channel was could sort of soak up the expense a bit better. Like, it's kind of bad to be like, hey, I'm making this giveaway, but you have to pay for the shipping. I feel a bit bad about, you know, putting up something like that. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Nancy and Otto. job security aid. If they are still doing something, they aren't sent home slowly. Wait, what? I lost track of that discussion. Yeah, international shipping. Well, Canadian shipping is gnarly. So weird. It's really, really weird. Like, I've been sending a couple of things to Otto recently with the, you know, the paintings and like sometimes it's if I send the thing as a letter, it's gonna be more expensive than if I send it as a package. But I mean, it's the same thing for the same weight. So what? And it's not like it makes a huge difference in delivery. Usually everything I send gets there in the, you know, a timely fashion. So I just pain in the ass, really. I love sending out stuff. This is why it bums me out so much, is that especially our post here, they're always like, oh, this is really hard to sustain, we want to make changes to make the post more cost efficient and all that. And I'm like, well, I mean, there are probably many people like me who want to use the postal services but struggle with the fees and, you know, like the I've sent stuff like not you know, not really big stuff, just something, say like a medium box or something, and it costs like $50 and you're like, what's in the box is not worth $50, so how am I supposed to, like, this cannot be a recurring thing. This has to be like a once in a while when I've saved up a bit of money. So it's just, I don't know, I want to use the post, just find a way to make it more affordable, please. Please. Okay, I'm gonna get some wait, let's see how dry this one is. I feel like it should be, yeah, it should be great. I'll go get some painting water, not ink water. I'll be right back. International shipping almost requires taking a mortgage. That's true. I don't have any pockets in these pants, so I have to. Okay. You gotta remember that you can see my butt now. I can't be scratching it willy-nilly. Yeah, shipping is outrageous. What is it, Kaboo? Hi, by the way. Hi. I'm happy to be your art supply mule. This is really funny. Whereabout in Canada are you moving to, in general? Don't have to be precise, but like, which province? We also get hosed on exchange rates and import taxes in Canada. Yeah, when you get snagged by customs here, it's never pretty. Fortunately, it's not like every time. It doesn't happen for every single like item, but there are certain places that will always be flagged, like jet pens. I don't order from jet pens anymore because I was really fed up with, you know, ordering for $10 worth of pencil leads and pens and whatever, and then you pay like $15 in customs. Like that's way much more than the price I paid for whatever's in that envelope. So no thanks. Oh, whoa. Yikes, Temple. Oh, Ontario, that's pretty cool. Whoa, what? That's so cool, Skaboo, wow. Hey, welcome back, Otto. Alright. So, which paints should I use on these little sketches? Do you guys have anything you want to see? I'm glad this erased really well. You know, sometimes when you ink something and you erase, it sort of removes, it doesn't smudge, but it takes away some of the ink. And the ink gets like grayer and sort of not as strong as it was when you erase over it, but this ink took it really well. Hello. Keep like scratching my face, but you guys can see now. You guys can see. Ew, ew, Otto, ouch. Otto says UK is usually okay, but in November and December, every single parcel got hit with import tax. Whoa, Misha, what? Misha says, my sweetheart lives in France. In the 13 years we've been together, shipping for a small box, priority mailbox went from $20 to $35. Ouch. International shipping can be such a female dog. It's a good one. Yeah, that's my super big eraser. Ta-da! I love it. It's super handy to have like a huge eraser. I have smaller ones too, but first of all, it's easier to find. It lasts forever and you can erase more quickly. White Knights, Sennelier. Oh, that's really cool, Tsukaboo. I have some White Knights, but the palette is huge, since White Knights only come in full pans. So I don't know if it would fit on here. I'd go with something a bit closer. What are these? Oh. Here, let's use these. That's the Tomofuku Holbein set. Tomofuku. It has rose madder, pyrrole red, shell pink, brilliant orange, Naples yellow, jaune brillant 1, leaf green, ultramarine light, indigo, lavender, cobalt violet light, and sepia. I feel like you could make an adult joke about it. Like my, I can show it, my White Knight palette is, it's kind of big. I don't know if this fits in, no it doesn't. That's about it. So it's kind of, I really need to use these more. I don't practice with these colors nearly enough, but yeah, maybe I should just, well, I've blue tacked everything in place, but yeah. Gosh darn it. Okay, let's fix this later. The neighbor is being super loud, just up there. Am I doing a background? Not really, I'm just gonna put like a faint indication of ground and that's it. Why? Nickel Azo Dark. It's a green pigment? That's interesting. Jackson's is really reasonable to Canada as well. Especially when you can get back to the Canada Post shipping instead of the DHL shipping. I would love to have like I have certain sets of paints that they're good. They're perhaps not professional paints, but they're good, like student or all level grade paints. But I wish I could find a way to make like giveaways that are perhaps targeted to people who have a bit more difficulty finding supplies, like say Dawn in Belize. But I just don't know how to set it up in a way that I would have to trust people to possibly only enter if they find themselves in this situation. So I don't know how well that would go. You could do the same with a cat drenched in snow from a roof. I should. That's really funny. Ah, Cyan says it is funny looking when Ruka, her dog, plays in the snow. He is a white shepherd, so he has good camouflage. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to see in white snow, as in invisible, right? It's the single pigment Daniel Smith's super green gold used to be rated. Really? Like the rich green gold is PY129, but the other one, you mean the regular green gold? I didn't even know that. The regular green gold from Daniel Smith is now a mix of pigments, but originally it was PG10. Wow, I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever seen PG-10 anywhere. But with Dan and Otto in the chat, I'm pretty sure that there's more than a couple of ears that perked up when you said that it's a discontinued thingy color. Like we all went, oh, really? Interesting. This is Rose Madder. It is one of my favorite Holbein colors. It's not light fast, but it's not the thing that really bothers me. I try, but ultimately I cannot really. I love these colors too much. So I'm just like, well, yeah, it is what it is. Also, Aussie Green Gold from Art Spectrum, but I missed both. Aww. Otto, exactly. I wonder if it's difficult to mold pigment, because sometimes, like us pigment people, we get super excited about a specific thing until we get it on the slab and realize that it's super annoying to mold, and then we're like, why did I want this? Is it worth it? Transparent bright color, that's gonna be hard to mold and balance. Yep. Ugh, transparent bright colors. Generally synonymous with nightmare. They are beautiful, that's not the problem. It's achieving a nice balance. I wonder though, I would be really curious to know why it's no longer made into paint. Is it the same thing that happened with Queen Gold, like cars stopped needing it so they stopped making stuff with it? Or was there some other reason? I am deliberately spreading this gossip in the chat full of paint makers. That's a good idea. Any paint containing nickel requires a Prop 65 warning label. Probably totally safe in normal artist use. Keep your mouth off your brushes and don't lick your wet paintings. Says Pigment Database. I love when people don't really take it seriously about the toxicity of paint. Not because it's like a joke that there's a toxicity part to these paints, but it's that it's often overplayed a lot, or people overreact to it. Unless you are mulling your own paints, you really don't have to worry about this stuff. If you are mulling your own paints, then yes, that's another story, because you have to be careful about the stuff you inhale or not. But regular use of paint, if you clean up your water buckets, if you rinse your brushes properly, and if you clear out your space when you're done, there's really no problem. Hey, Jacqueline, hi. Question, do you have any artsy New Year's resolutions? I have been sorting through my art supplies and my resolution is to use my precious supplies more. Yes, I want to hear chat's reply as well. I love looking with paintings. Yeah, I know, Dan. I know it's fun. The colors, they look so delicious, but yeah. That's a good question, Heather. Heather says, I saw a commercial and a person was sneaking up to a sleeping tiger and feeding it. Under it in small print was do not attempt or something. Like seriously, why do people need to be told that? I wish I knew. I really wish I did. Oh no, Denise. So you guys know Denise. You know she worked as a. Wait, I'm gonna mix up the words. She was an animal educator at a zoo, I think. And she says, "Trust me, Heather. They need to be told. It astounds me how stupid people can be around animals." There's always so many stories about stuff, you know, going about like it's often kids, but it's people falling into animal pens at the zoo, and you're like, how did you what? I don't How did you think this was a great idea? Hint, it's not. It's really not. It's like the whole hot coffee lawsuit. If they don't cover their butt by saying, don't be an idiot and try. Well, I used to think that, but I watched a video on YouTube, like a sort of a kind of a documentary or something, about the famous original case of the lady burning herself with hot coffee. And in that specific case, it was sort of legit on her part to put together a lawsuit, because the coffee was at a temperature that was deemed dangerous to. Anyway, it's like a. I don't have it clear in mind, but the coffee was legit way too hot for human consumption. Like it was beyond a certain degree where they go, oh well, coffee can be between this and this temperature, and it was way above that, and she really burned herself badly with it. like we're talking, I think it was like at least second-degree burns, and I wonder if there were not some third-degree burns as well. So it's like beyond just a simple coffee burn. And I think there was another thing, like the coffee cup was way too full. Anyway, like this case is super interesting to learn about because yeah, you assume that it's like, well, the coffee's gonna be hot, but this was like really weird and beyond hot. But then after that, having everyone labels their coffee caution may be hot, you're like, well, it's coffee. I mean, you sort of trust the restaurants and places to have the coffee temperature be, you know, hot, but a decent level of hot, not hot will burn holes through your skins, you know, through your skin. So that was really interesting. I really had a great time learning about this case because I thought it was like interesting to see exactly what it was about. She had to have multiple screen grabs. Yeah, it was really bad. But then again, there's also an whole other aspect of like, don't let your kids play with plastic bags from packaging, and you're like, I'm a bit disheartened that we have to specify this, but fine. The coffee was at 190 Fahrenheit, 82 to 88 degrees Celsius. That's just, nope. You can cook your pasta in that? Not good. Also, they had, hey Stacy, hi. Also, they had been warned multiple times by, I think, maybe the health and safety department. Yeah, this, like the original case of the lady that got burned with her coffee is sort of different in a way because it's a bit like the only one that has some legit cred to itself. But yeah, you have a slew of weird lawsuits that are basically just dumb people trying to get money, but you know, usually they don't win their lawsuits, don't they? People still think complain that you overreacted. Well, I think that's because people are not. The video I watched mentioned some of this too because I think the way the newspaper reported the whole incident, they really didn't do it in a way that would help people understand what really happened. They really went super tabloid with it and like, lady burned by hot coffee in a way that you think, well, the coffee is supposed to be hot. Don't spill it over yourself, you know. And they would not necessarily put forth the facts that it was like scalding hot and it was not supposed to be this way, you know. It's supposed to be hot but not this hot, and all the, you know, all the facts that transpired from the case were not presented in the newspapers. So people, and I understand it, I was with that impression and I got super curious about it at some point, or I stumbled upon it or whatever, but was like, I'm curious to know if, you know, this story has more to it than just like what really happened. Did this lady really burn herself on coffee and went like, the coffee hot, me burnt, or was it different, you know? And it was super interesting to find out the real facts about this case. So if you are curious about this, you can just go skim the Wikipedia article about it. I'm pretty sure there is one. And it's just really instructive to see what really happened. Because that's not what the newspaper showed. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I see. Something transpired that was not made super known to the public. Yeah, there's a couple of really... Hey, Mikey, hi, thank you. Yeah, you have other like super stupid stuff like a burglar that burglarizes a home and they get hurt in the process and they lawsuit the owner and they win. Like there's always these weird stupid cases, but It's super interesting to watch YouTube channels about law stuff. Law stuff? Anyway. Because sometimes there's like ramifications that we are not aware of that makes something that to us looks super simple really complex from a law point of view. There's a couple of channels that do that. There is one that is the Legal Eagle, I think, and one is Leonard French. They often like talk about these topics about law stuff and lawsuits. And it's just interesting. I'm not saying that I agree, but I enjoy being able to understand all that goes behind what we see in the newspaper, because the newspaper they don't do a good work at explaining what the whole situation is. Sorry. Hey Stephen, hi. And Haru, hi. Oops, oh no, I missed messages. Yeah, Legal is really nice. He has some really fun videos. Yeah, Heather, that's a fair point. I cannot believe that it is so complex for you to get some like, you know, this is one of these situations that you look at it and you're like, well, this should be fairly obvious, but then you learn that there's like a bunch of laws and thingies and whatnots and stuff that us artists are not super aware of, and that like are about this precedent and this law and all this stuff, and that situations are more complex. Oh no, what? Is it the oh no, I can't remember the name. Is it the Blizzard oh, me and games, yikes. Like Dota but Blizzard's edition? I'm sorry Denise, I tried. Oh no, Tsukaboo. Ah, Heather, that sucks. I'm so sorry. You and your poor pets really deserve better than that stupid neighbor. Definitely. Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm. Yeah, I'm super not. I know certain games, but I am terrible with remembering these things. Heroes of the Storm. It's weird because Blizzard they are really known for their narrative usually, but I haven't played WoW in literally like 10 years or something. So I don't really know what transpired with the narrative. I used to really enjoy BioWare's game, but there's been a lot of bad news in that too. It's been a bad couple of years. Well, at least for me. I mean, if you enjoy what they put out, kudos. We have had natural honey. We had swarm of bees that lived behind our house for 2 years. Oh wow. Yummy. Please don't use pastels to make paints. They have at minimum a different binder to what should be in watercolor. On top of that, it will most likely have chalk in it, which will turn it to gouache. It's true. Well, if a pastel uses gum arabic as a binder, it's more like a dry watercolor pencil, like you have Daniel Smith that makes some in Winsor & Newton. It's not exactly the same thing, right? Right? Ah, yikes. My brush was not clean enough, so I put some blue in the orange, which is not what I wanted to do. That was my stomach. Sorry. I'm gonna have to grab a snack when I'm done. Didn't have time to eat before, but I wasn't hungry. But yeah. I love that they are, oh, what's the word? Like they're using the trucks for the snow plows and all this stuff, but there's no snow, so I wonder if they do it for the ice instead, but I don't know how icy it is. It was raining yesterday, which was really not cool. There is a video on YouTube of a lady, I think it's a Russian lady. She makes paints using rocks that she finds in a riverbed at a retreat in the woods. So that's something you might check out if you want to see it more in action, perhaps. That could help you find options for you if you want to go to the quarry and get some stones. Yeah, that's the inspiration. It's I remember the mama cats on Kitten Academy and how much work it is to care for the babies. Like she's just a bit overwhelmed. Like an actual mom cat is not that overwhelmed usually because they just like they lay on their side and all the babies they come about and they nurse. But this is more like the human interaction kitty thing where she has a bottle and the beans are just like, yep, let's bean over. I am beaning. My main struggle with MMOs is that I feel that I would personally put a lot of times into them, and the reward, like what you get out long term of the game, is not that much. Like you have to put in a lot of time and effort, and then there's also drawing and painting and other artistic thingies that I want to try, or like finishing that crochet blanket I started ages ago. So it's just difficult to find the time, and also some like WoW are monthly fees. So I basically only have Guild Wars 2, but I haven't played in forever. But I got it because I play with Mr. E, so it's kind of fun to play both of us in the same room. And this one doesn't have any monthly fees, so if you want to stop, well, you're not paying money for nothing. Whoa, 5 inches of rain. Yikes. Yeah. I got really fed up with WoW at some point because, for the same thing you're saying, Cyan. Like, we would play with a bunch of friends, but it got to be so much more about, like, we weren't enough friends playing that we could do raids together. We had to include more people in our group, and that was always like problematic to set up and get rolling, and it would be about trying and redoing it many times to get different rewards and all that, and it's just not what I enjoy doing in a game. So I stopped. Oh, Magic the Gathering. Wow, Jacqueline. I haven't played, but I sort of grew up surrounded by people who played. My friends. I used to buy some Magic the Gathering cards just for the artwork on them, because they would always have like a section at the top that has a drawing or a painting, and I would always like I love fantasy stuff, so I would always go to the comics and hobby store and peruse the Magic cards and buy those that were both affordable and had great art on them. That was basically what I was doing. Oh, that's awesome, Jacqueline. Yeah, now it's all digital. I used to buy the paper cards. Oh, they make art books. I need to look into that. But now I've sort of found online like the artists I used to really love as a kid. So it's nice to you know, see see their website and have all the art. Like when I used to buy the cards for the artwork, I don't think websites were a really common thing. I'm talking like some 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago anyway. So yeah, it's fun. Oh, bye Denise, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been pretty awesome to have news and chat and hear from you. Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, that's coming up. We will see each other again in 2019. I love saying that. It's so corny, but it's also true, so. Oh, Heather, Guitar Hero. Your heavy metal self is coming out. I think this mom cat is thinking, why did we? Because you know, cats have can have many beans, or they can have like just a couple of beans. Like the latest mom cat on Kitten Academy had 9 babies. So I'm thinking that this mom cat is like, how many? Why did I have to have so many babies? What? How? Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Help! Help! One is running away and I can't get up because I got all the other ones on myself. Ah! That's the story of this drawing. Hides Metallica Black Album CD. What do you mean, my metal self? I haven't seen Gris or Gris. Gris. It's gray in French when it's written that way, so super confusing. Next scene is one in mouth and reaching for the Wanderer. Yep. I really hope you guys can't hear my stomach. It's bad. I'm really gonna have to grab a snack soon. So just to be, so you're warned, these are not farts, they're just stomach grumbles. You've been warned. My mom once took care of a cat which gave birth to 10 kittens. Whoa, holy moly. That's a lot of baby cats. Yikes. Kitten. She must have been so round. So gris is a Spanish game, so it's also gray in Spanish, but it's so beautiful. And they very obviously used watercolor and ink. Is that where grisaille comes from? Well, gris is gray. Grisaille is a word that's related to gray, so yeah. Which is why it's super mind-boggling when people do grisaille and they don't use, well, black, you know, and shades of gray. I guess that as a technique you can use any colors, but it's so weird to see the name grisaille and then see someone did it with sepia. I'm like, oh yeah, well, okay, I can see it. She was the poor thing with Barry Rock. Hey, hi, Jenny. I didn't say hi. I'm so sorry. Do you guys follow the Kitten lady? She takes care of neonatal kittens most of the time. Say grisaille again. Grisaille. It's grisaille. Like the S, it sounds like a Z a bit. There's stuff like brunaille. Well, brunaille would be brown, so that could work with the sepia. But grisaille is gray. It's like gris-eye, like an eye. Grisaille. It's okay if farts are natural. Yeah, I know, but green would be verdaille or something like that. Verdaille. Yeah, I think it would be with the D. But I've seen grisaille. I don't think I've seen the other words personally, which doesn't mean that they don't exist. It just means that they're perhaps less common. Grisaille. Grisaille. Yeah, it's a difficult word to pronounce in English when you don't know it's a French word. But it's grisaille. I'm there. If you guys want to learn about how to say French words, you can ask. No problemo. But yeah, the kitten lady, she takes care of neonatal kittens because often these are the kittens that they struggle a lot with in the shelters because they require a lot of care and hands-on care. And the staff are often like overwhelmed and they don't have the space, they don't have the time. So she often takes these kittens out of the shelters and brings them to her place and like brings them to an age where they can be adopted out. But she has these when she bottle feeds them the nipple that goes on the bottle is called the miracle nipple. It always makes me laugh just because I think it's cute that they called it the miracle nipple. Snacking throughout this whole stream. Have you been eating all the cookies? Yeah, I would go with D in Verdaille as well. Eva's jet propelled. Well, you know what? Working from home is pretty awesome for that. You cannot get stomachache because you can't fart. You can just fart. You're home. Yeah, it just happens. But yeah, when I used to work in an office, you can't really fart. Like, just like, fart. So you have to either go to the bathroom and then there's always people there. And you're like, I feel so bad. Well, I think I'm done with this one as well. They're all pretty simple, but it was a nice way to try out the nibs and the ink and the watercolors. Why is the nipple a miracle? It's just because it's a good product that the cats, when they learn how to latch onto it, it works really well to bottle feed them. So they called it the miracle nipple because it sort of rhymes and it's the name of the product. But it's also like a, from what she says, I think it's the most efficient like bottle tip you can use to feed kittens. I mean, maybe other baby animals, but yeah. And maybe pickles and seaweed and more cookies. Ah, pickles. I need to buy pickles. Which pickles do you guys recommend? Fart privileges. Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys know what I mean. I'm sure you all do. It's like the same kind of privilege to be able to work in your comfy clothes at times. What the Kitten Lady does is commendable, but I wish people would focus more on trap spay release programs and things like that. Kittens are cute, but feral cats are such a huge problem. I agree. Hey, bye, Paolo. Thank you so much for stopping by. I agree. A trap, spay, neuter, and release is really awesome, and a lot of people work for that, like Catman Chris, and even the Kitten Lady. She always advocates these programs because she says that while it's great that, well, it's not great, but while she can take care of the kittens, the solution to the problem is not having people like her who take care of the kittens, is having cats that won't have these kittens. So it's far more important to trap, spay, and release these cats than necessarily take care of the problem once it's there. It's better to prevent it. Oh yeah, Japanese pickles. Dang, you're right. Oh, they don't have those at the grocery store though. I'm hungry, bring help and cookies. Yeah, me too. I won't. Oh, that's a great present, Dawn. Wow. Oh, I forgot to paint this one's eyes. Yikes. What? Oh, thank you so much, Tsukeboo. I'm so excited. I need to go check up the PO box. I haven't in a while. Oh, speaking of, did I get something last time? I feel like I did. Nope, I think I talked about it. Darn it. Yeah, well, I guess that's it for this stream. These are the two doodles, you saw them. We played with nibs. This is the ink I used. Showing it again. Sorry if it's a bit blurry. At least the camera is not glitching and the frame rate is decent. The nibs I used are all by Hunt. These are fairly easy to find. They usually come with the speedball sets, so you can look that up. And I use the paper. I use these Strathmore Ready Cut watercolor sheets. I've been going through the pack. I think that I will try making like quick review videos in 2019 where I just speak for a few minutes about like when I finish a certain type of sketchbook. Like some sketchbooks are just for sketching. They're not really worth sketchbook tours, but since I finished the sketchbook, I feel like I could quickly record a video saying how much I liked it and my feedback on it. So yeah, so I'm going through the stack of Strathmore and I will possibly make a quick review about it when I'm done. Is there anything else? Oh, Danish pickles. Sounds awesome. I really need to grab pickles. thank you so much, everyone. Have a really happy new year. I think that's perhaps the one constant that absolutely everyone celebrates in one way or another. So have a great one. I wish you all the best for 2019 and a great start to it. The regular announcement, the PO box address is in the description below. A great big thank you to my moderators. You can go check out Otto's channel. She has awesome content about paint and watercolors and colors and techniques and all of that. So go check it out. What else? What else? You would love to see my reaction to the crystal pick. I would have to go get my phone. Hold on. I need to unwrap the mic. Okay. Darn it. Hold on. Okay, so bye everyone, and for those who still hang around for a couple of seconds more, I will go check out this photo that Heather sent. Can I show the picture on camera too? Heather? Oh, what? What is that? Oh, your Snow Kitty is pretty awesome. Can you flip? No flippy. No zoomy either. Yay, thank you, phone. Okay, so let's try to... Can you guys... That's really cool. Oh, what? What? I mean, what is this? It's the tiniest of mama and baby cats. Her beans. She's so pretty. I love Crystal. Which one is the baby? Who's that? Who's that baby cat? Adorable. Aww. I'm always one for cat picture. And yeah, if you are on the Discord for this the YouTube channel, we have a specific channel for animal pictures. You can post birds, cats, dogs, hamsters, name it. It's fine. We like to share our fur slash feather slash babies over there. Crystal is a gorgeous cat, seriously. She's beautiful. Alright. Bye guys. For real. Again, all the Happy New Year wishes, and check out Otto's channel. And we will see each other next year. I love doing this. Every year I'm super excited for the time when I can say like to friends and families like, hey, we will see each other next year, and be like super happy of my dad joke. Okay, bye bye.